Hey, so I am going to go and dive into a little bit of something that has come up quite a lot lately, and in conversations and working with clients is when people like to speak about macros and microcalories, and everyone seems to be educated to a certain extent on it now that it's become popular, because everyone seems to be throwing around things like percentage of proteins and carbs and what are your macros and what are you eating for fats and keto and Atkins, all of that when it comes to fat percentages and protein percentages, asking me, but I don't want to get fat if I eat too much fat. Or everyone has a very good grasp on what a carb is, you know, pretty much a simple sugar or even a complex sugar, something for energy. Great, well and good, we can put that to the side, as in there's been so much info and talk on carbs, I don't even think I need to go into that. And then we have the protein, which obviously is the forefront of nearly every single discussion. It's like, if I hear one more thing about protein, I'm like, peeps, we know. But where my clients' education falls the shortest and where there is still this big stigma and misconception is fat. Now, I'm not advocating or speaking about ketosis, whatever. There's no such thing as one size fits all. My whole program is about finding what works best for you, for your body type, as in I would never advocate one specific method for everyone. I don't believe in generalizing, but let me just explain something to you. Fat on your body and physical fat has nothing to do with fat in food. In fact, it should be called something completely different. Body fat is from undigested sugars or sugars that haven't been used from your body, and then that's pretty much a storage system that your body converts into fat, which is like a brown fat. Now, fat in foods should be more called something like a phospholipid or a lipid. It's got nothing to do with the conversion of fat into your body. It doesn't connect, it doesn't add up. So whoever decided to call body fat and then fat, the macro itself, in it, like as a fat, has really confused the crap out of people that have not studied nutrition or don't know much about it. The fat, again, in your food, just to break this down simply, has nothing to do with the fat in your body. Fat in food does not become fat in body. As in any sort of protein that your body doesn't use, any sort of carb, any sort of fat, we'll call it lipid, your body doesn't use, it gets converted into that storage system. Fat is a dead sort of storage store. So it's like when you think of muscle is active storage, because muscle uses calories to live and to breathe. Fat is pretty much the storage where you're like, okay, well, I can't use you, so I'm just gonna file you into this like sort of Play-Doh right to the side. I didn't mean to call it Play-Doh like that. It was just I was thinking of something that doesn't use energy to live. So yeah, that's it. So never worry about when you're looking at food, oh shit, this has a high fat content, this is gonna make me fat. I'm like, no, it's completely different. And so when you're doing your macros and counting, never be scared of the fat. Never look for a low fat option because you're scared it's going to make you fat. Again, seriously counterintuitive, whoever named that. I would like to go back to way back when, around the brainstorming table, and been like, dude, really, dost thou know what thou is doing? Thou is making big problems. Huge problems. But no, so I hope that helped you a little bit. And so from now on, let's just call it a lipid. Now, an ideal ratio of macros or micros, whatever you want to call it, it's, well, micros are more important than macros, let's say that. But 30% fat, 50% fat in your diet, like I said, it's fine. And adding a 30% protein breakdown, whatever your body needs, listen to it. If you're low on energy, eat a little bit more carbs. Now, fat is the energy for building cells and tissue and muscle within your body. Without that fat supply, you can't build live tissue. Yes, protein helps build muscle with those things. Carbs provide energy. Now, fat builds tissue. Fat transports hormones, which is why a lot of women who subtract fat from their diet, you'll notice that their period stops because pretty much they don't have that transport system anymore. You'll notice they probably look a healthy size, they have a healthy body composition, everything, but without that little vessel, you can't develop brain tissue. You'll notice they become foggy with their thoughts and their mentality. It's a different type of energy that your body needs. So we'll call it lipid energy. I hope that is a little bit helpful, and you know what, I know it's talking fast, but I'm trying to break it down in a way that it's easy to digest and it's easy to understand. Like I said, if it was just a couple people coming to me with this problem, that would be fine. But when I notice it is this generalized mass conception now, I'm like, oh, I must help the people. So As a qualified nutritionist, I understand where everyone's getting these ideas from, because it's exactly where I was at before, before I became educated, before I studied. So I understand where the whole misconception comes from, and it's not fair to people, because it's such a major part, and in fact, just completely restricting something like that from your diet is hurting you. And now, whether you get it from nuts, saturated fats, unsaturated fats, all do something different from your body, all do something good from your body. Never restrict one whole macronutrient or micronutrient. It just doesn't work unless you're doing it on a short-term plan. If you're training for a specific photo shoot or physical goal, then that's great, but remember, it's not sustainable. The advice I give is for long-term success, is finding that sustainable results, as in being able to live a certain lifestyle, not a small part of that lifestyle. So I hope this was a little bit helpful. If it was, give this video a thumbs up. If there are more things you want to ask questions on, just ask. I love getting your questions, and I will see you in my next video.